Everything wrong with the plus size park hoppers. Let's get into it.
I think I've just found the most controversial account on TikTok, but it's not for the reasons you might think.
Have you been dying to ride Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey at Universal's Islands of Adventure, but you weren't sure if you'd fit? Have you ever worried about fitting in a non-traditional bed at a Disney World resort? Have you been dying to ride Expedition Everest at Disney World's Animal Kingdom?
These are the plus size park hoppers, and they are a group that get a lot of love from the plus size community, but they also get a lot of hate from just about everyone else. From people telling them to lose weight, that this should be a wake-up call, and honestly, a lot of the time just flat out bullying. I wanted to take a look at their account and their goals, and although there are some positives, I do think they're spreading a pretty dangerous message with their content, which isn't obvious at first glance. Now, they started their account back in 2023, and the group initially started posting to TikTok sharing their special moments from the trip to Disney. The content only got a few thousand views at most, and had nothing to do with their weight at first. But after getting questions about how they were able to go to the parks being plus size, the group started to post tips and tricks videos to TikTok, like what were the best shoes to wear and outfits to wear when being their size.
Hey everyone, we're plus size park hoppers, and as plus size girlies, we definitely know the importance of good footwear. Our biggest tip is to switch it up every day. So here are our personal favorite shoes for those long days in the park.
But now you'll recognize their most famous content.
What I will say about them, actually, is at least they're self-aware, you know? And, again, with all these videos, don't bully, right? Like, I'm not here to bully at all. I'm just here to watch the video. It's good entertainment. And with them, of course, they obviously know, you know, they're self-aware. And fuck it, dude. As long as they're happy, I mean, it is what it is. There's not shit you can do about it, bro. They're happy with their life. You can sit here and stay in their comments and hate all you want. I could sit here and say, you know, they should probably get in the gym. But there's nothing I can do, you know? They're happy with their life, as long as they're happy, and they're making money out of it too, so it's not like they're, you know, not making any money. It's not like they're in generational debt, which I'm sure Disney probably isn't a good leave the pocket kind of thing, but fuck it, bro. They're happy with their life. It is what it is.
It's I Sit, which focuses on sharing videos of all 5 group members trying out the ride seating and checking that they fit.
Have you been dying to ride Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey at Universal's Islands of Adventure, but
W
you weren't
ride,
sure if
though,
you'd
I will
fit?
say
Are
that.
you
W
worried about
ride.
fitting on rides at Universal's Epic Universe?
And it's not just the park rides, but the seats inside of park restaurants too.
Have you been dying to eat at Tutorial Al Forno at Disney World's Boardwalk, but you weren't sure if you'd fit? The seating options here are a mixture of tables with chairs, half booths, and bigger booths as well. We were seated at a bigger booth with a chair at the end. The chair did have arms, so we did ask to replace it. Overall, we found the booth pretty comfortable and roomy enough for the 6 of us.
And before we really get into the video, I want to start off by saying that I genuinely think all these girls come across as lovely and genuine people. I think they really make an effort to produce helpful content and probably don't deserve a lot of the mean comments that they get. The point of this video isn't to bully or harass the girls, it's to talk about the effects of normalizing and even promoting obesity. Between Instagram and TikTok, they've amassed nearly 500,000 followers. So clearly there's people out there finding their content entertaining and useful. But the normalization of obesity is something we're seeing more and more on social media. And their content really makes me ask myself, where do we draw the line? How can we decide when we need to stop accommodating obesity and start promoting a healthier lifestyle and better eating habits? With the rise of fast foods replacing healthy eating and obesity rates climbing year after year, society's already had to make a lot of accommodations for morbidly obese people as we're just genuinely getting bigger. There are larger versions of pretty much everything now, often referred to as bariatric equipment in the medical field, like bigger wheelchairs, bigger hospital beds, and even bigger MRI and CT scanners. In everyday life,
What the fuck? Why? What are we doing with the horse, bro? Why was the horse up in the CT scan,
furniture's
dude?
being produced with increased weight capacity and reinforced materials to help obese people feel more comfortable and safe. And for people like the plus size park hoppers, accessible seating has already been created for rides, featuring a larger seat and a bigger seatbelt. The park hoppers range in sizes from 2XL to 5XL, detailing their exact measurements so viewers at home
What? I didn't even know that shit was possible.
can compare their sizes with the girls to see if they'd be able to fit on the rides that they do.
The seat on on the left is slightly larger and is considered the modified seat. The safety mechanism here is an over-the-shoulder restraint that does need to get to a certain position to lock. Ashley wears a size 5X and unfortunately was not able to fit in the modified seat, so she was unable to ride this one. Katie wears a size 3X. Despite being able to fit in the seat, she was unable to get the green light on the chest restraint. My name is Stephanie and I wear a size 2X. I was able to fit in the seat comfortably and got the green light on the chest restraint.
When the seating for the ride has already been modified and they've already made accommodations for the obese people and someone still doesn't fit, what then? In the comments on these videos, some people complain that we aren't being accommodating enough. Poor Ashley, it's so disappointing in 2026 that rides are still inaccessible in these ways.
L take. Again, maybe get in the gym. It's an L take. What do you want them to do? They can make the seats bigger. They can't make it too big. You know why? Because then you're just not going to fit on the fucking track, right? Roller coasters are on a track. Whether it's inside or outdoors, it's always on track. They can't make the fucking ride bigger, right? The ride was already made. You're going to not fit on the fucking track. What do you mean? Still inaccessible. They weren't supposed to be accessible to those who, are that big. They account for everybody, right? But they don't account for it going up to 5X. I didn't even know 5X was fucking possible. I thought that's some shit Hulk would wear, dude. I didn't know that shit was possible. No, L take. What are we talking about, bro?
Appreciate y'all. It's so unfair, the lack of size inclusivity in this park. They need more body inclusive rides. I'm so shocked that sometimes a 2XL didn't fit. There are so many different body types and a 2XL is becoming more common. Why haven't they made more accessible rides? Sorry y'all didn't get the ride. And by the way, 2XL becoming more and more common isn't a good thing. But the rides have already made the larger seats for larger guests that are almost double the size of a normal seat. If accommodations have already been made, genuinely, what is the next step? How big are the seats supposed to get to allow morbidly obese people to ride them?
A thrilling roller coaster with two different seating types. One is a motorbike and the other is a sidecar. They have a test seat out front, which we highly recommend trying before getting in line. The safety mechanism for this ride is a lap bar that does need to get into a certain position to lock. Katie wears a size 22 pants and has 65-inch hips. She was not able to get the green light on either the motorbike or the sidecar. I am wearing the purple shirt and the gray shorts and I am a size 20 with 60-inch hips. I was not able to get the green light on the sidecar, even with Katie trying to push down on the lap bar for me. I also tried to push down on the lap bar for Katie, but that did not get the green light either. For the motorbike seat, you do need to step over the bike in order to sit down. So keep that in mind if you have trouble lifting your legs. I did try the motorbike seat and did not get the green light at first, but after Katie pushed down, I was able to get that green light. I personally find the motorbike seat roomier and comfier than the sidecar. There is also a leg restraint
The
that
motorbike
goes
seat
over
is
your
the best
shins,
one,
which can be uncomfortable.
I will agree with that.
Even though I was able to fit in the bike seat, the line for this ride was too long, so neither of us ended up riding.
That is also a true fact too. The fucking Hagrid's ride in Universal, always a 230-minute wait, no matter what fucking time you go. You might be able to catch it at the lowest, and the lowest will still be 140, 160-minute wait. Never riding that shit again. It's a great ride, unless I have fast passes, fucking teleportation passes. I'm never getting on that ride again.
To account the design of a roller coaster, it's probably impossible to build a ride to accommodate this. The carts of the coaster run across thin metal tracks that can only support so much weight. If they're overloaded, they could risk break and lead to serious injuries. Plus, it just wouldn't be safe to build a ride that accommodates both obese...
I didn't even hit that point either. Yes, exactly. There's a weight limit, I didn't even hit the point that the shit could just not work. It could just fucking break. Like, again, I'll take from that one lady.
People and smaller people, like children, because of the weight balance needed for the rides. Now, look, I'm no engineer, but I can imagine it's already a nightmare getting these rides to be safe. Never mind having to worry about whether your ride can withstand adding thousands of pounds worth of body weight. Like I said before, people are heavier than they used to be. One or two obese people on a ride probably wouldn't make a difference, but a ride full of massively overweight people sounds extremely dangerous, and people want this so we don't hurt people's feelings. When watching the videos too, you will notice how disappointed the girls look when they don't get the green light on the test seats, meaning that they can't go on the ride that they want to go on.
Oh,
There
W
is a
dog.
test seat
Sorry
available
for the
this ride,
sidetrack.
located
W
to the
dog.
left of the attraction's entrance. These seats are molded with a divider that goes between your legs. The safety mechanism is an over-the-shoulder chest restraint that does need to get to a certain position to lock. Ashley wears a size 5X and unfortunately was not able to get the green light for this ride. Katie wears a size 3X, and not only did she find the seat to be very uncomfortable, she was not able to get the green light. My name is Stephanie and I wear a size 2X. I was also not able to get the green light on this ride.
After 3 of the girls couldn't get the green light to go on the ride, they all just looked really disappointed. Clearly, they're all obsessed with Disney. Some of them even dress them up as characters, and they aren't able to go on the majority of the rides at
Universal,
the
but
park due to
same.
their size. The idea of test seats too is pretty crazy, to be honest. We've normalized obesity to the point where we have to anticipate and accommodate for it. I'm not really into theme parks, but I've been to a few, and I've never once seen a test seat in the UK. So maybe it's just a USA thing, but the idea of someone being too fat to ride just seems...
I didn't know that's what the test seats were for. I think the test seats are for anybody. I didn't know they were for larger people, but I used to get in them when I was a kid just to see if I would fit in the seat, you know, if I was too small or whatever. So I didn't know that they were for that reason. I thought they were just for anybody, you know. Just also, it's like a good representation of what you can expect on the ride, you know. Okay, I have these things to hold on to. You know, I would do like tests, you know. So I don't know. I guess I didn't know that.
so foreign. Even when they go to restaurants at the park, they have to specifically request not to be seated at booths or on chairs with arms as they won't fit. Where possible, they even book ahead of time, specifically requesting a table and chairs to make sure that they are specifically reserved for them.
Some of the seating here does have arms, but there are also booths and tables
Where the hell
with
is
chairs
this? This
without
looks
arms.
tough.
In this episode of If I Fits, I Sits, we had dinner at Lamplight Lounge. There are stairs to go down to the dining area, but there's also an elevator if needed. There's both indoor and outdoor seating here. Most of the chairs do have arms, but there is some seating outside without arms. If you'd prefer a chair without arms, don't hesitate to ask a cast member.
Ultimately, asking for a more comfortable chair isn't a crime, and they do deserve to feel comfortable. But when accommodations have already been made, like having a standard chair with no arms, and the seats are still uncomfortable, I don't see how this isn't a wake-up call for them. The park hoppers are spending so much money on the tickets and spending days at different parks, and they have put so much time and effort into making sure that they can enjoy themselves because their weight limits their ability so much. Ashley is...
Yes, but given the opportunity, I'll spend days at the park too. Come on, dude. Again, they're living their best life. Sure, it may not be the healthiest, right? But they're happy. Can't say shit about that, dude. If they're happy and they're doing cool shit, I would do that shit. If I was getting paid to go to spend days at the fucking parks and just make a video on it every single day, you'd have to be insane not to take that. Like, dude, this is low key. I would go to Universal every fucking day, and my only stipulation was I had to make videos on it. Are you insane? Anybody's taking that.
the largest member of the group, being 5XL, and after watching the majority of their videos, I just couldn't find a single ride that she was able to go on.
Ashley is 5'10", wears a size 5X top, 30 bottoms,
I'm not even
has a
5'10",
62-inch
dude.
waist and 76-inch hips.
Even with the modified seats
sad.
for bigger guests, Ashley couldn't go on a single ride at Universal. And it's the same for other parks too. Unfortunately, she didn't get a green light for any ride, and honestly, I can't help but feel sad for her. She's clearly a huge Disney and Universal fan, paying tons of money to go to these attractions, and she just can't get to enjoy it. Now, imagine all of your friends going on rides without you, and you just have to sit there and watch.
That is
It
low-key
will
sad,
feel
dude.
very isolating for Ashley, and I do feel sympathy for her because some of the comments are brutal. So Ashley just watches the bags. Dang, Ashley just pays all that money to get in to watch everyone else go on all the rides. Ashley should probably take a hint. I wonder for Ashley and people like her who can't enjoy the...
I don't want anything. Thank you, though. Mhm. I think I want something. Thank you.
You want that?
Yeah. All right. Love you. W persuasion.
these rides, what's next? Larger
Voting
seats
under
have already
zero
been
pressure.
built, which it can't fit in. Are these theme parks supposed to just make them bigger? Will there be rides built specifically for fat people that only they can ride? And honestly, I just don't see how this can't be a huge motivator for weight loss. Being able to experience things that people of a healthy weight just don't think twice about. And can you imagine the feeling that she'd get if she was finally able to fit onto her favourite ride at a theme park After years of being too big, it would feel unbelievable for her. Especially for Ashley, as she's had to watch all of her friends go on these rides without her, sitting on the sidelines. Being able to join in and go on these with your friends and experience it together would...
I can't imagine the friends are very good influences, what I was trying to say. I just couldn't think of the words. Can't imagine they're pretty good influences on maybe not being that size anymore. Lock in. Get in the gym. Because I'm sure finally being able to ride all these rides at a place that you love would be a amazing feeling. Again, like I said, I can't imagine these friends are good influences, because if they were, none of them would be the plus size park hoppers. They would be normal people going to the fucking parks. But I think actually now segues into a whole different thing. I think they've built an image around themselves so massive, you say, $500,000 on both platforms combined, that if they tried to change it up, you know, if they did try to lose weight, I'm sure they probably wouldn't get the amount of views that they currently get. And I'm sure the views and the money and the numbers, you know, is what keeps them at this stage in their life. I'm sure they'll probably never change it.
Amazing. Would it be so bad to have a goal of seeing the green light instead of red? Now, one of the biggest issues with these types of accounts is that it actually encourages them to stay at their current size.
I promise this isn't fucking pre-watched, by the way. I just have a brain.
The name of the account is literally the plus size park hoppers. The more annoyed people get in the comments, the more views they get, which leads to higher engagement. And obviously, because of their high follower count and the amount of views they get, they're obviously making money from it. And I bet a lot of their tickets and meals are even discounted or even free for bringing attention to the parks. The more attention the account gets, the less likely they are to change. Especially when they've made their entire identity about being fat. And the sad thing is, all of these girls, especially Stephanie, are clearly very charismatic and clearly have a lot of knowledge about Disney. Even if they didn't focus on being plus size, I bet their account would get a lot of attention from other Disney adults. But now, it's pretty much just a content farm for viewers to poke fun at. Even on Tom Segura's podcast, he finds the idea of the account a total joke.
Have you ever been seated at a restaurant and found that you couldn't fit comfortably in the seat or booth? Hey everyone, we're plus size park hoppers, and we range in sizes from 2X to 5X. Like this video and follow us for more plus size Disney content. We're starting a new dining series called If I Fits, I Sits. In this series, we'll go to different restaurants on Disney property and beyond, showing you the types of seating they offer, whether or not we find it comfortable, and we'll also review the food.
I don't know why these people don't do what I did. Just feel immense shame about the way you look and feel.
Yeah. Here's, by the
Don't
way.
you hate when you see arms on a chair? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Will this
Who
chair
the
hold
fuck
me?
is thinking that? There's arms here? I guess this isn't for me. Jesus Christ. Sit on the floor. That's what they should
God.
do. If you walk into a restaurant and you don't fit in the chair,
going on,
you eat on the
JF?
floor until you can fit in a chair.
Like in Afghanistan, that's
Jesus
what they do.
Christ.
Sometimes media can act like a safe space where you're tucked away inside of a community that you're part of. And with plus size Disney adults encouraging each other in the comment section, it isn't actually like real life. It isn't normal to worry about whether you'll be able to sit in a seat in a restaurant. You are, unfortunately, morbidly obese at that point, and it is unhealthy. I don't understand how it isn't a wake-up call not to fit on a ride. But it's not just the ride and restaurant seats that the park hoppers complain about, but also the phenomenon of the term that they've coined, the Disney rash.
Have you been dying to get the Disney rash? No, probably not, but it does happen. Hey everyone, we're plus size park hoppers and we range in sizes from 2X to 5X. Make sure you like this video and follow us for more plus size Disney tips and tricks. If you don't know what the Disney rash is, consider yourself lucky. It's also known as exercise-induced vasculitis. It can happen when you're exposed to heat and if you're exercising for a long period of time, which are both super common in Disney World.
This is an insane fucking thing to happen, by the way. The Disney rash? I didn't even know that shit was possible from walking too much. It deadass looks like a sunburn. Like you got a sun rash on your goddamn skin for being out in the sun too much. That makes sense. I didn't even know that shit was possible for just walking too much.
Can walk between
That's
5 and
insane.
10 miles a day. The rash typically appears on exposed parts of your lower legs. It can cause an itching and burning sensation and just be downright uncomfortable.
Everyone knows that theme parks are massive, and it's kind of the point. The rides are massive and they take up tons of space. You can easily walk over 10, 15,000 steps at a theme park. In fact, you should be walking at least 8,000 steps every day as part of just being healthy. I might be controversial in saying this, but I wouldn't consider walking 5 miles strenuous exercise. It's literally just walking a few thousand steps extra in the day. Being overweight also makes you much more susceptible to getting exercise-induced vasculitis, aka the Disney rash, because of heat retention in the fat tissue and increased inflammation. And it's actually very rare in people of a healthy weight who exercise often. To be honest, the plus-size park hoppers' experiences at theme parks sound pretty miserable. They have to check if they fit on every ride, which most of the time they don't. They have to book ahead of time to make sure the chairs are big enough to fit them, and they have to leave if they don't. And they can't manage walking long distances across the park without getting in pain or getting the Disney rash. But for the plus-size park hoppers, their anxiety for making sure they fit starts well before the end of their parks, and actually starts on the flight beforehand. The park hoppers exclusively fly with Southwest Airlines, because their accommodation for plus-size people is well ahead of any other US airline.
Have you been dying to fly in an airplane, but you weren't sure if you'd fit? Hey everyone, we're plus-size park hoppers, and we range in sizes from 2x to 5x. Make sure you like this video and follow us for more plus-size tips and tricks. Flying as a plus-size person can cause a lot of anxiety. Between worrying about if the seats are too narrow or if you'll need a seatbelt extender, there's a lot to think about. We've been flying with Southwest for years, mostly because of their amazing customer of size policy. If you think that your body will extend over the arms of the chair, you are able to book an extra seat and you will get refunded for it after your flight. It's super easy to do. You just book as 2 passengers, and for the second one, you put XS in the middle name. This will automatically be recognized as an extra seat in their system. When you get to the airport, you print your boarding pass as you normally would. You will get
I saw the XS and I thought it was extra small, bro. I was about to say, I know, you're damn lying.
Passes, one for you and one to display on your extra seat. This will let other people know that that seat is reserved. When you book an extra seat, you automatically get pre-board. And this is to ensure that you and your extra seat can sit together. You're also able to bring a friend with you to pre-board, which we think is so nice. We like to ask for our seatbelt extender as we're boarding, and the flight attendants are super nice and discreet about it. The armrests between the 2 seats do come up so you're able to be more comfortable. We recently flew in their MAX 8 plane, which is super new and very spacious. As a 2X, I did not need a seatbelt extender and the tray table came all the way down. When your trip is completed, you can call Southwest and they will either refund the points that you paid or the cost of the second ticket. This policy makes flying more comfortable for everyone, not just us. And we are so grateful that Southwest offers this.
I'll start by saying that it's great the park hoppers are aware that they need an extra seat because a lot of fat people don't realize this. If they didn't do this and you had to sit next to someone who was literally spilling over into your seat, it would be uncomfortable.
Dude. Like, how can you say things like that and expect me not to laugh, bro? Spilling? Like, bro.
Comfortable for both people. I do think though that if you're using 2 seats, you should have to pay for both. You're taking the seat away from someone else, and I don't know why you'd have to get that for free just because you're too fat. Now, I wanted to check for myself what the policy was for plus-size passengers with Southwest Airlines, and unfortunately for the park hoppers, their refund days will soon be gone. As of January 27th, 2026, plus-size passengers will no longer be able to refund the cost of the additional seat if the flight is fully booked. Their updated policy also states that if a passenger is of size, meaning if they don't fit within both armrests and encroach into neighbouring seats, then they will be rebooked onto another flight with an additional seat. I do see this change as positive, and it's simple really. If you encroach onto someone else's seat, which they have to pay for, that is your fault and you should be made to reboard. I also think it's fair to pay for an additional seat if you take up 2. If I bring more luggage than I pay for, I have to pay for it too, so there's no real difference here. Honestly, after watching the plus-size park hoppers videos for a long time, I have to say it's hard not to feel pity for them, because it seems like the thing that they look forward to the most is ordering massive meals in the restaurants. Now look, outside of all this negativity, I do think the group still has a positive message to share. They are trying to encourage people of a similar size to still go out and enjoy themselves, which I totally agree with. I think their videos could be helpful for people who want to know more about the parks they're visiting as well, as they are clearly passionate about Disney and want to share their passion. I also think their content is helpful for people with physical disabilities who need to know specifically what the requirements are for each ride, like if a walkway is accessible or not, or if the distances between the rides are too long so they can know ahead of time if they need a wheelchair or just more assistance. Even for people who've started their weight loss journey, this account is informative for them too. Their energy as a group could lead to a successful social media account all on its own, without the mention of them being plus size, just them sharing their love for Disney with people and showing the best ways to get around the parks. My issue with this type of content is the normalization and even promotion of this unhealthy lifestyle. If we're unhealthy, I think we should be encouraged to change our lifestyle rather than expecting the world to adapt for us instead, especially when you've got a group.
The only thing I can continue to think about when thinking about the plus size park hoppers is fucking Wall-E. Like the way Wall-E is, where everybody's fucking obese on these floating beds and they don't even look up at the world around them. They're just, fucking and scooting everywhere, just fucking oblivious to everything. That's what the plus size park hoppers remind me of. That they're just the people from Wall-E, dude. With that being said, W video, Big Greg. Always a good watch. Always a good watch.